Alright, class, settle down, settle down. Sensei made this PowerPoint presentation several days ago, and I don't remember what's in it. Sensei has had a couple rough days since then. The Rod Reese Titan. Why does it do that? Attack on Titan, I've been rewatching it recently, and every time I rewatch Attack on Titan, I remember that I have no idea why the Rod Reese Titan does that. I don't need to say what. If you've clicked on the video, you know what that is. I don't need to tell you that. All I need to tell you is that I think I've come up with a reason that we, as a community, may or may not already know. I refuse to look this up to see if this is like what's actually happened, because then I'll be proven potentially wrong, or that I'm not the first person to come up with this. And I don't want that. I want to live in my little world. Please forgive the green screen artifact. Sorry. I can see someone parking on the street and they're parking wrong. There's a method to how you park on this street, and they're not following it. This PowerPoint will be featuring no colourful images, or images of any kind. If you don't like the look of me, you're not going to enjoy this PowerPoint. I'm sorry. I hope you like the colours black and white. I made this very quickly to talk like a conspiracy theorist to my friend on Discord. So, before we begin, I'm going to spoil everything. There's not a single thing that I'm not going to spoil in some way, shape, or form. If you haven't seen the show, go away, leave. I'm going to assume you've seen it all and have an idea as to what's going on. And I'm also not going to be providing references. You can trust me. Look at me. I've got credentials. Here's my credentials. It's a little figure of Levi that I got many years ago. It's actually not the only one on this shelf. Those are my credentials. So I'm not going to be providing references. There will not be images and no timestamps. My research is, trust me, bro, because I know Attack on Titan. I've read the manga. I was considering how I wanted to pronounce it. I've watched the anime at least once. Small caveat. I have watched the anime at least once. I'm rewatching it currently. Haven't actually got to the bit that I'm going to be talking about in this video yet. Could I have gotten to that point? Yes, I'm one episode away. Am I going to watch it before recording it? Evidently not. That's the preamble. Don't give it too much thought. Alright, before we start, quick little recap. How do people become Titans? Well, you get injected with what I assume to be the spinal fluid of other people, of other Titan shifters. If you're injected with it, it seems like it happens instantaneously, but in the case of Zeke, it's a delayed reaction. It's somewhat important to remember what Zeke can do. Zeke has the option to just not use his spinal fluid when you inject it into someone, or it's ingested into them, as you see with the poisoning the water supply, and the other bit, the wine. That's it. When they consume the wine. If, for instance, though, it's not Zeke's spinal fluid, it seems like it just happens instantaneously. I'm assuming, because that's what we're shown when they're like on the wall or whatever, and they're being pushed in, or the dock or whatever it is. Okay, what does being a Titan mean? I'll be honest. I don't actually know how important this information is to the theory. I just wanted to make it sound like a PowerPoint presentation. Titans, they get big. Get big, lose all sense of agency, you lose all your clothes. Statistically, you become a man, it seems. Yeah, you walk around wanting to eat people. Unless, of course, you're a Titan shifter, in which you don't do that. You can, optionally. There's nothing stopping them from eating people. They actually do it sometimes. Eren does. Eren eats quite a few people, really. There's many different types or styles of Titan. You pretty much just borrow traits from the person that you were, which is actually something I quite like about the beginning of rewatching Attack on Titan. You see all the different Titans and you're like, wait, are they teased there in the end? Like, I think you do. I can't be for certain, but I'm pretty certain that a lot of the Titans that you see in the early game, I think you do see a lot of the Titans in the beginning. You see the humans at the end. I can't remember completely, like in flashbacks and things, but that's just something I think was cool. And also, like, did no one within the walls go, hold on, that's an old man? You know, the one that tries to eat Armin at the beginning. Did no one go, wait a minute, Titans, they just look like people? I get it, the king is doing all manner of things, and the whole point of the show is that they're being manipulated. I get it, but anyway, I digress. Now, where does the spinal fluid come from? That's an important question, because you don't just get spinal fluid out of nowhere. You don't milk them. Maybe you do. Spinal taps scare me. That one H Bomber Guy video on the vaccines, he's got a brief bit about spinal taps, and I've watched that video about 1,000 times, and that bit freaks me out. The idea that one day someone might have to jab I'm just imagining someone putting a faucet into my back. But that's what I'm assuming they kind of do to obtain spinal fluid from the Titan shifters. That's the way it's usually referred to. They talk about, Zeke's spinal fluid, for instance, and what will be relevant to the theory, one of the vials is labeled armor. Aaron looks at it and is like, armor? Yeah, that'll help. Where does the fluid come from? They suck it out of Titan shifters. That's all we need to know. How do you become a Titan shifter then? If you really so much want your precious spinal fluid to be siphoned from you, you eat a Titan shifter. That's it. Unless you're the original Titan shifter, in which God, I assume. And once again, just to reiterate, your Titan form does resemble your actual form, even when you are a Titan shifter. It's just a little bit different. Though, one thing to know about becoming a Titan shifter is that sometimes you take on like a new appearance when you become a Titan shifter, and sometimes you seemingly don't. Obviously, for some it makes sense. Like, when Armin becomes the Colossal Titan, that makes sense that he would change form dramatically, That makes some sense. But when Ymir becomes the Jaw Titan, Ymir's form from wandering just plebeian Titan to the Jaw Titan is the same Titan. They're not different. Also, when Eren becomes a Titan for the first time, when his dad injects him, his Titan form is different to the Attack Titan. So, vibes, I guess. I just don't think about it. It's not really important to the theory. The beauty of the theory is that if some evidence doesn't agree with me, I can just ignore it. Now, what's the theory? My theory is that Rod Reis consumed some Colossal Titan spinal fluid. This is probably a bit of a stretch, given that he wasn't a Titan shifter, so we have to use our imagination a little bit. But shut up. We know that Titan shifters have to have a clear vision of what they want to do when becoming a Titan. We see that when Eren is first learning how to use his Titan powers. And so what my thinking is that Rod Reis wanted so much to stop Eren and the group of the Survey Corps that he somehow managed to awaken that as an abnormal Titan. It doesn't fully work, because then you'd be like, surely that would explain where abnormal Titans come from, is that people who were being injected on the dock were, they really, really wanted to stick it to the man or whatever. And so they became abnormal, and that activated their Titan powers. But that wouldn't make sense, because I assume that there's not many people on that dock willingly. So I imagine most of them would be abnormal. I don't really know how it works, but that's my theory, is that he really, really was so intent on stopping them. And then also just mixing that with the blood, with him being royal blood. So you have some Colossal Titan fluid, you have royal blood, and you have the will, the urge, and the want to do anything to fix the problem that you're in. And those factors come together to exacerbate the Titan shifting process. Now, the evidence for this is plethoric. I don't know if plethoric is a word, but I'm using it as if it is one. When you turn into a regular Titan, you take on and retain some of your original traits, appearance, maybe temperament. You hold on to that when you're a Titan to some extent. I'm going to make the leap in assumption in that you would also then take some of the traits from the spinal fluid itself as well. If you get the Colossal Titan, bigger Titans. Jaw Titan, smaller Titan. Female Titan, you become a woman. I don't know. I don't know what the female Titan's ability is. This isn't a theory about the female Titan. Don't ask me about the female Titan. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what the female Titan does. Armored Titan, he's big. Don't worry about it. They haven't got the Attack Titan and they haven't got the Warhammer Titan. So it makes sense that no one would have traits that are similar to those. It would be very strange if we had Titans that could see into the future. When it comes to figuring out how they want to fix the hole in the wall, don't know which wall it is, don't know the names of the walls. I'm not really a true fan. I've been making it up this entire time. Maria, Rose, and the other one, and I don't know. I don't know the order. I don't know the order in which ones they are. And they want to fix the hole in the wall. They're like, Aaron, we've seen you fight Annie. You can harden yourself, right? She can. So like, why can't you? And so Aaron tries to do that and can't because he's a dipshit and can't do anything right. But more importantly, my theory is that he just can't. Like, he can't. Well, we know he can't because then when he is in the shiny cave, he then sees the vial with armor on it, bites into it, and expands. He gets big and is able to use the hardening ability to save all his friends. And I'm assuming that armor in this instance refers to the armored Titan. I'm not going to question how much spinal fluid the royal family would have had to have stockpiled before coming onto the island. But, you know, it's a lot, I imagine. But importantly, yeah, he can then harden. When Rhys is trying to get Historia to eat Eren, he allegedly, because I haven't got to the episode yet, and I'm just playing it in my mind, says, I'm going to turn you into a big, strong Titan, the biggest, the bestest, the most strong Titan that we can. To me, that implies that when he injects her with the fluid, she's going to take on some characteristics of the Titan that she's gotten the fluid from. Because otherwise it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter where the fluid came from if she wasn't going to retain some of those traits. You know, you could have just used the spinal fluid from any old Titan and it would have done the exact same thing. Basically, I'm saying that you can mix and match Titan powers within some extent. Within an extent. This would explain why Annie can use the hardening ability. We can assume maybe that she turned into the female Titan after being jabbed by the armored Titan spinal fluid. Just an idea. Maybe the female Titan can just harden. I don't know. I still don't know what's so special about the female Titan. It's just a woman. Isayama wanted to draw a large naked woman, I'm guessing. I'd say the most important piece of evidence to support the idea that Rhys consumed the Colossal Titan spinal fluid is that when Falco at the end consumes some of Zeke's spinal fluid and gets turned into the Jaw Titan, he turns into a bird, which, as far as I'm aware, given that we see, I think, 3 Jaw Titans throughout the series, none of them can fly apart from Falco. Falco can fly for some reason, and that is that because he consumes some of the Beast Titan's fluid. When he gets turned into a Titan, he borrows the trait of being a beast, turns into the Jaw Titan, becomes a bird Titan. And I think it's important to also note that when you, as a regular Titan, eat a Titan shifter, you don't inherit the old Titan's traits from the Titan shifter. Because otherwise they would have all just merged together into, you know, like a collection of hyper powerful Titans that could do literally anything, you know. So my assumption is that you only take the powers. You've got like 2 types of Titan powers. You've got base powers and you've got secondary powers. Secondary are what you get from the fluid. Base are what you get from the Titan. That's my theory. What? Oh my donuts. What does this mean for the series as a whole? Some of this is theory crafting, and some of it is only relevant to me and my friend when we have been talking about Attack on Titan. As I've just said, I forgot that this was on this slide. All the Titan shifters haven't coalesced into a few super powerful Titans. So you inherit only one trait. It's fine. Marley can engineer Titans to benefit the conflict that they're in. I don't really know how that works, and I feel like for the most part you'd probably just want to give all of them the Cart Titan powers. I forgot about the Cart Titan, I'll be honest. It's there. You'd probably just want to combine them all with the Cart Titan, because then you could just have Titans that like last forever. But then that makes me think, like, what did Rainer like combine with? What did Bertolt combine with? And my answer to those is I have no idea, and I'm choosing to ignore them. I'm just going to assume that it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a power from a different Titan. Like, it's not something that you can explicitly be like, I want to be able to fly, and so you can. I think that in Falco's case, for instance, it was like, it's just like the intent, you know, the thought behind it is what powers it. But yeah, no, there's just a cool idea that Marley can create Titans potentially based on the needs of a given conflict. I just think that idea is cool. Completely pointless to the story. Further supports the idea that Marley didn't know. Yeah, so that's me and my friend were talking about why Marley didn't, like, if they knew of the Attack Titan, like, why did they not go all out to try and reclaim it? Like, that's a very powerful Titan, and they just didn't have it. And so we were kind of just discussing, like, how did the resistance, I don't know if it's a resistance, I can't remember the name of the Eldians. How did the Eldians get hold of the Attack Titan? And I just came to the conclusion that Marley just didn't know about it. Marley just has no idea that the Attack Titan exists. And that's like, oh, my hands are sweaty. I took my hand off this and it's just like dripping. Oh, disgusting. I forgot where I was. My sweaty hands made me forget. Maybe I'm the founding Titan. And I don't think it's ever mentioned why Marley don't have the Attack Titan. And so I think it's just that they just don't know of it. They didn't know about it until it showed up, which would explain why Rainer, Bertolt and Annie were so shocked to see a Titan. They would be very shocked regardless, because they also very possibly wouldn't know that that is the Attack Titan, and were told to go and find the founding Titan. And so it's kind of like very plausible that they thought that was the founding Titan and not the Attack Titan, which would mean even more so that they just don't know about the Attack Titan. Anyway, they haven't got the Attack Titan, and we could tell that because none of the Titan shifters can see into the future, because that would be a very useful power. It's the same with the Warhammer Titan, because they don't have access to the Warhammer Titan, and none of them have Warhammer Titan powers. So that's just my a theory between me and my friend, but you can have it. But that's my theory. I think, is that the final slide? Yeah, that's it. That's my theory. You got any questions? Rod Reese consumed some colossal Titan fluid, and that is what caused him to grow big. Obviously, the real Rod Reese, or the human Rod Reese, still had a face, so that does put a little bit of a problem on the whole idea of him borrowing traits. Maybe it doesn't. I'm just talking for the sake of it. I have one final thing for you though, because I was like gonna make a whole like 26-hour long video about Attack on Titan, but then I realized I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to do that, and I'm also just lazy. So instead, we're getting a bonus theory. Bonus theory! The symbols of the 3 military branches portray that the lies of the monarchy was there the entire time. Each of the symbols portrays what they are protecting. The wings of liberty or freedom or whatever. The Survey Corps, they have the wings. That's like, they're protecting the want to be free. They're protecting humanity's freedom. The garrison has a rose, which is the rose. Obviously, one of the walls is called rose, but also like the walls of the rose like fan out like rose petals. So the rose is indicative of the wall. And the interior police, though, what? A unicorn? What's that? There's no unicorns in this world, to my knowledge. There's some in North Korea, but I don't think North Korea exists yet in the Attack on Titan world. The military police, the interior police, they're protecting a myth. The unicorn is mythical, and that's what they're protecting. The monarch is a lie. It's myth. It's a myth. It's mythical. And so that's my bonus theory, is that the military police, their symbol all along is pointing to us and saying they're not protecting the real monarchy. They're protecting the mythical ideation of a monarchy. Is that a word? Is that a sentence? Yeah. We'll go with it. So yeah, that's my Attack on Titan theory. Did you all know that? Not the monarchy bit. That we can ignore that bit. Am I an idiot? Should I have known that all along? Should I have known this? Because like it feels like I should have done. I want to feel smart, but I don't trust that I am. So I'm going to assume that everyone already knew this. But yeah, that's it. Bye. You will go out of your way. But sorry, I ducked down because someone looked through the window and I was embarrassed.